Hey guys, so what do y'all say we carry on with chapter 5? Chapter 5 of The Giver by Lois Lowry. Usually at the morning ritual, when the family members told their dreams, Jonas didn't contribute much. He rarely dreamed, and sometimes he awoke with the feeling of fragments afloat in his sleep, but he couldn't seem to grasp them and put them together into something worthy of telling at the ritual. But this morning was different. He dreamed very vividly the night before. His mind wandered while Lily, as usual, recounted a lengthy dream, this one a frightening one, in which she had, against the rules, been riding her mother's bicycle and been caught by the security guards. They all listened carefully and discussed with Lily the warning that the dream had given. Thank you for your dream, Lily, Jonas said, the standard phrase automatically, and tried to pay better attention while his mother told a dream fragment, a disquieting scene where she had been chastised for a rule infraction that she didn't even understand. Together they agreed that it probably resulted from her feeling when she reluctantly dealt punishment to a citizen who had broken the major rules for a second time. Father said that he had no dreams. Gabe? Father asked, looking down the basket where the new child lay gurgling after his feeding, ready to be taken back to the nurturing center for the day. They all laughed. Dream telling began with threes. If new children dreamed, nobody knew. Jonas? Mother asked. They always asked, though they knew how rarely Jonas had a dream to tell. I did actually dream last night, Jonas told him. He shifted in his chair, frowning. Good, Father said. Tell us. The details aren't clear, really, Jonas explained, and trying to recreate the odd dream in his mind. I think I was in the bathing room at the House of the Old. That's where you were yesterday, Father pointed out. Jonas nodded, but it wasn't really the same. There was a tub in the dream, but only one. And the real bathing room had rows and rows of them. And I had taken off my tunic, but hadn't put on my smock, so my chest was bare. I was perspiring because it was so warm, and Fiona was there, the way she was yesterday. Asher, too? Mother asked. Jonas shook his head. No, it was only me and Fiona alone in the room, standing beside the tub. She was laughing, but I wasn't. I was almost a little angry at her in the dream because she wasn't taking me seriously. Serious about what? Lily asked. Jonas looked at his plate. For some reason that he didn't understand, he felt slightly embarrassed. I think I was trying to convince her that she should get in the tub of water. He paused. He knew he had to tell it all, that it was not only right, but necessary to tell all of the dream. So he forced himself to relate the part that made him uneasy. Um, I wanted I wanted her to take off her clothes and get into the tub, he explained quickly. I wanted to bathe her. I had the sponge in my hand, but she wouldn't. She just kept laughing and saying no. He looked up at his parents. That's all, he said. Can you describe the strongest feeling in your dream, son? Father asked. Jonas thought about it, and the details were murky and vague, but the feelings were clear and flooded again now as he thought. The wanting, he said. I knew that she wouldn't, and I think that I knew that she shouldn't, but I wanted it so terribly. I could feel the wanting all through me. Thank you for your dream, Jonas, Mother said after a moment. She glanced at Father. Lily, Father said, it's time to leave for school. Would you like to walk beside me this morning and keep an eye on the new child's basket? We want to be certain he doesn't wiggle himself loose. Jonas began to rise to collect the school books, and he thought it surprising that they hadn't talked about his dream at length before. The thank you. Perhaps they found it confusing as he had. Wait, Jonas, Mother said gently. I'll write an apology to your instructor so you don't have to speak for one for being late. He sank back down in his chair, puzzled, and he waved to Father and Lily as they left the dwelling, carrying Gabe in his basket. He watched for a while as Mother tidied the remains of the morning meal and placed the tray at the front door for the collection crew. Finally, she sat down beside him at the table, and Jonas, she said with a smile, the feeling you described as the wanting, it was your first stirrings. Father and I have been expecting it to happen to you, and it happens to everyone. It happened to Father when he was your age, and it happened to me, and it will someday happen to Lily. And very often, Mother said, it begins with a dream. Stirrings. He had heard the word before, but he remembered that there was a reference to stirrings in the Book of Rules, though he didn't remember what it said. And now and then the speaker mentioned, attention, a reminder that stirrings must be reported in order for treatment to take place. He'd always ignored the announcement because he didn't understand it, and it didn't seem to apply to him anyways. And well, he ignored, as most citizens did, most of the commands and reminders read by the speaker. Do I have to report it? He asked Mother. She laughed. You did in the dream telling. That's enough. But what about the treatment? The speaker says. The treatment must take place. Jonas felt terrible. Just when the ceremony was about to happen, his ceremony at 12, he would have to go away to someplace for treatment just because of a stupid dream? But his mother laughed again, in a reassuring, affectionate way. No, 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 no. She said, it's just pills. You're ready for the pills, that's all. That's the treatment for the stirrings. Jonas brightened. He knew about his pills. His parents both took them each morning, and some of his friends did, he knew. And once he had been heading off to school with Asher, both of them on their bikes, and Asher's father had called out from the dwelling doorway, You forgot your pill, Asher! Excuse me for a moment. I apologize for the interruption. Workday never stops. All right, let's see if we can pick this back up. It was the sort of thing one didn't ask a friend about because it might have fallen into the uncomfortable category of being different. Asher took a pill each morning, and Jonas did not. Always better, less rude, to talk about things that were the same. Now he swallowed the small pill that his mother handed him. That's all? He asked. That's all, she replied, returning the bottle to the cupboard. Now, you mustn't forget. I'll remind you for the first weeks, but then you must do it on your own. If you forget, the stirrings will come back. The dreams of stirrings will come back. Sometimes the dosage must be adjusted. Asher takes them, Jonas confided. His mother nodded, unsurprised. Many of your group mates probably will, the males at least. And they all will soon, females too. How long will I have to take them? Until you enter the house of the old, she explained. All of your adult life. But it becomes routine after a while, and you won't pay much attention to it. She looked at her watch. If you leave right now, you won't even be late for school. Hurry along. And thank you again, Jonas, she added as he went into the door for your dream. Pedaling rapidly down the path, Jonas felt oddly proud to have joined those who took the pills. For a moment, though, he remembered the dream again. The dream had felt pleasurable. Though his feelings were confused, he thought that he had liked the feelings that his mother called stirrings, and he remembered that upon walking that he wanted to feel the stirrings again. Then, the same way that his own dwelling slipped away behind him, as he rounded the corner on his bicycle, the dream slipped away from his very thoughts. Very briefly, a little guiltily, he tried to grasp it back, but the feelings had disappeared. The stirrings were gone. So what do y'all say we look at questions for chapter number 5, huh? Let's see, where are we at? All right. Questions for chapter number 5. Number 1, what was Jonas's dream? What were some of the things that happened in his dream? What are stirrings? That's question number 2. What are stirrings? Question number 3. What does Jonas have to do now that he has stirrings? And question number 4. Why do you think he has to do that? Thank you, and I will see you guys on the next chapter.